Hello and welcome back to Bookmark Chronicles. Today's video is going to be short and sweet, but I'm here to tell you why it's time to stop using Goodreads and switch to the StoryGraph. So the StoryGraph, similar to Goodreads, is an app where you can track your reading, get recommendations, see what friends are reading, and leave reviews. However, I signed up for the StoryGraph when it was still in beta and it was leagues better than Goodreads already. I do currently have an account for both. I mentioned briefly in another video that I just wanted to see how they match up at the end of the year. However, I already know that StoryGraph is a million times better. So I am going to keep my Goodreads account. However, I will not be leaving full reviews on there. Instead, all of my Goodreads reviews will just actually link to my StoryGraph reviews. I'm also going to keep the account because I do like entering giveaways. I don't think I'm ever actually going to win one, but maybe one day it could happen. You may be wondering why it's called StoryGraph. Well, yes, there is an actual graph and it shows you things like what types of books do you typically read, how they compare in length, what the mood is, what the pacing is like, what genres you read the most, and things like that. And it's just a really well put together and comprehensive way to look at your reading for the year. I don't yet have StoryGraph Plus, but I do know that if you do get it, you can even compare your reading month to month, which I think is pretty cool, and I'll probably sign up for at the end of the year. I have a lot of subscription services and I need to start dwindling them down. But StoryGraph Plus is definitely at the top of the list for things that I want to sign up for. At the end of the day, the reason that I no longer care for Goodreads is that it has turned into just another social media app and it's not one that I feel that I need. I also really hate the Goodreads Choice Awards because it's nothing but a popularity contest, and a lot of authors who deserve credit are not getting it through those awards. And honestly, the awards are kind of useless. Books will be nominated that aren't even released. Books will win a category that they're not even a part of. It's just a hot mess and I don't love it. We also know that the Goodreads Choice Awards led to the Shaded Choice Awards, which specifically focuses on authors of color who have essentially been robbed from the Goodreads Choice Awards. If you're not familiar with Shaded Choice Awards, I will leave a link to the video from last year. It's really nice. So many wonderful creators of color came together to support authors of color, and it was really cool. So definitely check it out. I will also be leaving a link to a video that Jashana did a little while ago where she actually does a walkthrough of the StoryGraph. I was going to do that, but I don't know if you noticed, I sound a little weird today. My allergies have been acting up, my nose is stuffed, my throat hurts, I have a headache, and I can't be on here for long. I already can barely breathe, which is why this video is going to be so short. Quick note from Editing Ray. It's been quite a while since I started my account on StoryGraph, so I forgot to mention a very important thing. If the reason that you are hesitant to switch from Goodreads to the StoryGraph is because you've been spending a lot of time working on your want to read list and your read list and all of that, building your shelves, you can import all of your data from Goodreads to the StoryGraph. They have instructions on how to do that on their website. It's a one-time thing. It's super quick and easy. And then you just keep building from there. So I forgot to mention that because it's been quite some time. But for anyone who is thinking about making the switch but doesn't want to lose all the things that they already have saved on Goodreads, there you go. But anyway, some of the things that I really love about the StoryGraph, number one, it's Black owned. Obviously, we support Black owned businesses in this house because we love to see it. Two, while you can follow people, right now I only have like 4 friends, Nicole, Dasha, Robin, and Jashana. But while I can see what they're reading, I can't message them or anything, and I'm totally fine with that. Honestly, it's kind of annoying when people comment on all of your updates to things. Like, I don't need it. I can do without it. So I appreciate that. I also really love that you can mark books as DNF. If you do not finish the book, you just mark it as DNF and you can add notes and explain why. Unlike on Goodreads, where if you start reading a book and add it to your currently reading and need to take it off, you have to remove it from all of your shelves. It's really annoying. I don't understand how they haven't updated that already, but StoryGraph just makes that process so much easier. StoryGraph also allows you to do quarter-star ratings, which is something that I do very often. I've always found it annoying that in my Goodreads review, I have to start off by giving my actual rating because I either have to round up or down depending on what I gave it. StoryGraph just gets rid of that problem altogether, and I really love that about it. Lastly, there is a template for writing reviews on StoryGraph. You don't have to do all of it, but you can. You have the option if you would like to. It asks you about the themes, the pacing, if the characters are diverse, if the flaws of the main characters are a large part of the story, if the characters are lovable. Then you write your review, you give your quarter-star ratings, and it asks for content warnings. I absolutely love this feature. If you are someone who doesn't like content warnings, you don't have to use that feature. That's totally fine. But if you do, you not only can list content warnings, but you can label them as explicit, moderate, or minor so people know what they're getting when they go into this book. I think that's super important. I really love that feature. Like I said, to me, StoryGraph is just leagues ahead of Goodreads, and for Goodreads to have been around for as long as it has, I don't understand how they haven't updated any of this stuff yet. So like I said, short and sweet. My head is killing me right now, so I'm gonna go lay down. But if you are on the StoryGraph, leave your username so I can follow you. Let me know if this is your first time hearing about StoryGraph, if you were thinking about it but you weren't really sure yet. Let me know what your thoughts are. Otherwise, that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you in the next video.